Kay Ben Abraham. I just had a child 2 months ago. First baby, very healthy little boy. Nice and fat at the beginning, and even fatter today. His name is Jonathan. He was born November 13th this past year. 2 months old.
Look at him. Look at him holding up his head like a big boy.
Yeah.
I know. It's so hard.
Yes, it is. It's so hard.
I guess with this age of babies, nothing is terribly normal. He kind of sets the schedule. I tend to try to do feed him, try to put him to sleep, and then let him stay awake and do a little bit of playing, quote unquote, which essentially means staring at things. And that's sort of how, eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep, play. And those are the days for the most part.
We're just playing havoc with your rooting reflexes. Oh, Jonathan Valenti. You don't stand a chance. No.
In our case specifically, a lot of it is literally just functioning at work and doing my job to bring in the funds, but also supporting Kay as far as being helpful, with the baby. But actually at this point, because he's so dependent on Caitlin, it's actually cleaning house, dishes, making sure things are where they need to be, bills being paid. Yeah, so kind of really try to make it so where her main requirements are just baby, and everything else I try to do.
Stinky poo, I love you. Yes, I do. You and your stinky poo ways.
Basically, the medical definition of infertility is you haven't had a baby after a year of trying to have one. And we were at about 3 years of, probably 1.5 to 2 years of actually trying to get pregnant, and that hadn't happened. So that we technically met the definition of infertility. And the reason was because I have this condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. Essentially, it means that your hormones are not communicating with each other well. And since the entire fertility cycle is pretty much managed by hormones, if those are out of whack, then conception can't really happen.
I don't know what that means.
I got a box, was like, if this tastes like crap, I'm not drinking it. I don't care if it promotes healthy lactation.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's very tasty, so. I was officially diagnosed with it, I think about 2 or 3 years after I got married. I suspected I had issues when I was 16 or 17. My period was really late and it never came regularly. And so I actually did a lot of the sort of emotional work of dealing with PCOS way before I knew that I had it. And as an older teenager, I kind of went through a grieving process. I just had this intuition that I wasn't going to be able to have children.
Can you say Abba? Abba? Mama.
I tend to keep really poignant things close to the heart, and I write about them, and I sort of process them through by myself with God. And so that was pretty much how I did that. A little bit further along, I did talk with my parents about it. And I still remember that conversation as being one that was very sweet and very important for that process of coming to grips with the possibility of infertility. But that was further along the lines. The initial dealing with it was solitary.
It's like Superman.
That'd be a pretty cool superhero.
By the time we were about 5 years married and had been trying to get pregnant for a couple of years, we had sort of just become reconciled to the fact that, well, we're not going to ever have children. And it was actually the weekend before I took a pregnancy test. We sort of sat there and decided, well, actually, we kind of like being without children. We enjoy each other. We've, like, you know, been appreciating this more and more, this whole childlessness thing, and being able to travel at the drop of a hat and do whatever we want to do. So it's okay. We're all right with being infertile. That's, you know, we can put the seal on it. We are officially okay with the cards that we've been handed. And then 3 days later, I took a pregnancy test, and it was positive. And my first reaction was, crap. I just got adjusted to this whole infertility thing. But of course, the actual elation set in a little bit later.
It was extremely exciting when we found out that she was pregnant, and then of course she lied to me and didn't tell me right away. Told everyone else in the world first, and then came up with this whole scheme to anyway. Showed up at our house and for thinking that it was something else, and then they showed up and announced that they were pregnant. So it was very exciting. And I jumped and screamed and everything.
We decided to name him Jonathan. Jonathan in Hebrew means God has given. We felt like he was a miracle child. Like, he was not something that we expected or could have planned for or made come about ourselves. So we ended up feeling like, because of that, the timing is just perfect. You know, he was brought to us, he was given to us, as opposed to us deciding, okay, now we will push the huge button called enormous change, parenthood is here. Which, if you're the one doing that, you're always, okay, second guessing yourself, was this the right time? Should we have waited a little longer? Whereas, because of our situation, it felt like this was outside of our hands. You know, we weren't the ones who decided when this would happen, and therefore you're able to kind of rest in that a lot more than you would if you felt like you were the one kind of running the show. I'm looking forward to him talking. At that point, you start to see the person that's there, like a creature who's different from yourself and who has reactions to the world and to you that you never would have been able to really anticipate or expect what they were going to say. And I just get such a kick out of that. It's so much fun being able to, like, find out what they'll say to something. You know, you never would have known. So I look forward to that stage of his development, and I look forward to him sleeping through the night. That would be awesome.